Hello everybody and welcome to the first video in a series about Palo Alto SCM, Strata Cloud Manager. If you could like and subscribe, that is absolutely awesome. Again, no pressure with anything at all. So, SCM, Strata Cloud Manager. The first video is really what is it and what they intended to do with it, what's its purpose. So Strata Cloud Manager is effectively very rapidly replacing the idea of the centralized management, so replacing Panorama. I think its origins pretty much come from AiOPS. It's got AiOPS in the background, so it's looking to encompass everything. So AiOPS, Prisma Access Management, SD-WAN management, firewall management, and get everything into one cohesive place, as well as getting really cool things like this, which is the command center. And from the command center you can see these maps. I'm not sure what they're called actually, but you can see these maps, and we've got internet apps and users, and we can do things like that. So what we're going to do in this first video is we're just going to have a walk around and have a look at SCM. We're going to have a look at navigating our way around it to get you a bit more familiar with it. So let's get started. So the first thing we've got is the command center, and then we have the summary. Now if you had firewalls here, there'd be one here, firewalls here, and you'd be able to select between the two. I don't have a firewall license, so I haven't put the firewalls into it as yet. We're looking to do that in another one. And really, where I've used it and where I've seen it in industry and in business is with managing Prisma Access and the SD-WAN. So, okay, so on the summary screen we have Prisma Access locations. We have the users. So we can look at the remote users that we've got, how many remote users you have. You've got Prisma Access, and then just click to come back out of that, you go back. And then you've got other, which is, so if that was a site, for instance, you'd have other sites. In this particular instance, I think this is picking up from my service connection. And then we have the Prisma Access, we've got 3 locations deployed. And then we've got internet apps. Again, if we just click into these, we can click into them and it will then go into, so for instance, for unsanctioned apps, Facebook base is unsanctioned, can't stand Facebook. Tolerated apps and sanctioned apps, that all comes down to your reporting and your being able to see things sort of very quickly at a glance, what traffic's going through your network. Okay, if we come back from there, using all apps at the top. So we come back to apps, and then we can see what internet apps we've got coming through. See which ones are sanctioned again, tolerated apps, unsanctioned apps. We can click into that app as well, and we can see what that app is. So over the past 3 hours, there won't be anything, but if I was to go back, say, 30 days, yep, okay, and we're finally here. So we can see a little bit about the app. We can see what it is, transport layer security, TLS, whether it's sanctioned, tolerated, unsanctioned, as we saw from the original screen. We can see that it was a sanctioned app. We can change it here. So if we like to change classification to tolerated, we can confirm it. And if you think about it, I suppose in a way, it is a high risk, so it'd be more tolerated than just sanctioned and allowed. And then once it's done that, then you would just push that policy out, and then that would be tag has been successfully updated for it. So we can see the traffic over the past 30 days. We can see that we've got how much data transfer we've got, and we've got total users, which is only me because it's just me. And that gives you an idea. Now, really, really quickly, so if I was then to go to configuration, so we've got 2 options here. This is just to show you pushing that tag. So we've got 2 options. We've got workflows, which is the setup stuff, Prisma Access setup, your service connections, and so on. And then we have when we're managing it. So when we're managing it, NGFW and Prisma Access, because they use the same management system. So we can see now that that is out of sync, and we're going to push. Now I need to put in a reason, a description. It requires a description. So we're going to put tag change, and then we're going to push. And then as we push, then we'll see as well then that it does a validation, which will be pending. Once that validation is then finished pending, it will then go to a little drop down like this, and then we'll be able to see where it's being pushed from the jobs menu. Okay, so let's go back to Command Center again. So again, from Command Center, we can see this. We can see the apps that are going. And if we click on here, we can view our threats. There's no threats in the last 3 hours. So if we just change that to 30 days. Okay, there was still no threats, so I've done really well. But you can see that the apps has now changed. The user device experience is using ADEM, of course. We can click straight into the user application experience, which is there. And we can see that application experience. It's very much, SCM allows you to access pretty much everything from the one place. I hate the term single pane of glass because it isn't. But it pulls everything together. It aggregates all the information that's available to you. Okay, so we'll go back. Right, and then we've got the Gen AI applications, which is now something, you know, what applications have been used, because obviously AI has become quite a big thing. If we move to the threats, we see that the threats now, so the screen has now changed. Got threat prevention, URL filtering, wildfire, and DNS security. So at a glance, you can see what's been blocked there and alerted there. You can go straight to your security subscriptions there. You can view your threats, and you can view blocked and alerted threats. Operational health is as it would suggest. So it's operational health, it's remote network, any instants that are open, and that's open specifically because I haven't bothered building them, the remote network tunnels. And then we've got the user experience as well from there. We've got the internet domains that we're going to, and those are they're the score. So basically, through this now you have the ADEM experience score. So for my user, he's having a really bad time by the looks of things. You got fair experience, and you can have a look, and you can see monitored users there. You got monitored user devices. There's a wealth of information there. Again, moving from these to, if we then go to Prisma Access, we can then go to there. You can click directly straight into where the instance and alerts are. Prisma Access the same. It all follows on very logically and very. I just think very well. I think it's very well designed, although there are obviously some issues. And then we have data security, and again that comes again to change the context of the screen. And then we have security subscriptions here, so DLP inlines, no critical instance. So I've got DLP inline, SASE inline, endpoint DLP, and it shows me I've got no license for those. We can view our security subscriptions, and we can view all data profiles, and we can view the Data Risk Explorer. So that's the command center. The activity insights gives you slightly more of a sort of a granular view, so to speak, a lot more detail. We have the top applications, we have traffic usage. If you think of this a lot like, and in many ways as well, it looks very much like the ACC. So you got the ACC on the firewalls, if you liken that to this. You got the application. Again, you got your filters across the top. It does sometimes take a little while to come down, which is slightly boring, but that's okay. And then you've got the application by risk score, and again, it's looking again along very much the same kind of information as you would have for the ACC. Threats past 30 days. Again, you can just drop these, or you can add a filter, so you can start looking at license, threat security, Gen AI use case, total threats, and then you have the rule name, DNS for mobile users, and then it was DNS security, and it was DNS parts and threat adjacent. So you can see all the stuff there. The users, again, you can look at your users that you've had within the past 30 days. The domains. No malicious domains, so I've done quite well. All manner of stuff in there. Rules, so we can have a look at the rules and what kind of traffic you've got going across the rules. You can see it hardly gets used. I really have screwed it up here. I'm gonna have to get another one and do some more videos on it. I really should have spent more time doing videos on it. But yeah, I mean, there's not much traffic going across it. I mean, you couldn't put much traffic across it anyway because it's a demo tenant, so to speak. But you can see the rules there. You can see the rule name. You can see the sessions. You can see the users that have gone across that rule name, the URLs that have gone across it, the apps. Gives you very good details about how how the network is being used, I guess. Okay, so regions, source regions. So this is source regions that you go into. Again, total applications, total threats, total URLs, and then the actions. You can view the logs. You can go straight to the log viewer from here. Again, it's so this backs off to CDL. With Strata Cloud Manager and Prisma Access, you're required to have CDL, and this lets you straight in there as if so. If you was looking at the Strata login service, then you would see the Explore app, or if you remember the old Explore app from before, then this takes you into there, and you can see all these source regions. And again, this is really because you've got lots and lots of people. Untrust to untrust. There's two zones. There's trust and untrust, and anything that comes on your trusted side will be mapped to your trust zone, and then anything that's internet facing is untrust zone. That's where the source regions came from, because it's as soon as it comes on the internet, as everybody knows on here probably by now, it just gets attacked because that's what the internet does. Okay, so if we go back to our activity insights, so we can see our regions there. So then into dashboards, we look into dashboards. We've got SaaS Health. You can add more dashboards. So we can add an executive summary. We can add Prisma Access. We can add Wildfire, DNS, Advanced Threat Prevention, and best practices. Best practices is the old BPA assessment. Not old BPA assessment, it's BPA assessment. And again, this is done off the back of AiOPS, using that back end and using telemetry from AiOPS, and it will tell you about the rules and the profiles and the rule bases and the failed checks and so on. Again, you can click into those, click into one there, for instance, and again we come to the familiar AiOPS screen where it's the issue that there is, the best practice check name, what it's been checked under, the controls that it's been checked under, and the recommendations. And time to fix is an hour, and you can see there you've got the details for how to fix it. DNS security and so on. There shouldn't be anything on here really because there have been no DNS security issues. We have just the basic dashboards, DNS requests. There isn't any to look at for that, so there's nothing. A bit of a poor screen really. Wildfire again is total samples submitted. It's very much, you can look at it in the same way as the logs. It just puts it into it's a very graphical representation, and I think it's very good, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so this is where we see our Prisma Access, and we can see that we've got the licenses that we've got allocated, the mobile users we've got allocated, Prisma Access locations, the connected mobile users in the last 24 hours, remote networks configured, and service connections configured. This takes us back through to the same thing we saw from the command center, where it shows you the instance and alerts based on the Prisma Access, which is what I have. Log viewer, and you see here just on the side we've got just a favorites thing here. Well, that's on that one there, so you can go to it down here. Store your favorites down there. Monitor, if you want to monitor branch sites. So branch sites would be your remote access sites. And if you have SD-WAN tunnels, if they're using Prisma Access for internet or to get back, they will appear in the remote sites. If we look at data centers, we've got data centers that also covers data centers for SD-WAN as well as service connections, because service connections are data center connections. Of the three types of connections, you got the service connection, the remote network, and the mobile user. So MUSPN, RUSPN, and then SC CAN. Service connection is unique because it doesn't have a direct connection to the internet. It has to go to another node to get to the internet for internet connectivity. Again, so you've got service connections there. You've got all your data about your service connections, network services. though. We'll see if we can go to UK. And there we go. So we can have a quick look at global protect authentication. Then we've got DNS. Then we can see the DNS proxy and so on. You can do an IOC search, as you used to be able to do in AiOPS. Subscription usage shows you subscription usage, makes sense, and Prisma Access locations. And then we come to our manage. So we've got the NGFW and Prisma Access, data loss prevention and SaaS security, and operations. Okay, in operations, which I just clicked off of for some reason, we can see to push the config, to push status. So if I go to push status now, I'll see that that last one was pushed. It was validated and pushed. That should basically show jobs. We can do config version snapshots. So this is how you can revert to previous snapshots. Security posture and the policy optimizer. Policy optimizer is what we had before, and then access control. And then in here, we've got the stuff for setting up the actual. So if we set it up NGFW management, which I haven't got a license for, got Prisma Access set up for setting up Prisma Access. So we've got Prisma Access, mobile users, global protect, remote networks, remote browser isolation, which we have now, and then the network connectors and so on. That's where you'd actually build the configurations from. And then we have reports. So that really is a walkthrough of it. I just quickly show you so if I go to the rule base, you've got configuration scope there. You can think of it a little bit like device groups, but it's not entirely like that. And then we have the rules, and the rules are built sort of pretty much the same way as you'd build other rules. In here, you've got things like DNS securities. Now, that's broken out from anti-spyware, so it doesn't exist in anti-spyware now. It's one on its own. URL access management, profile groups, web security. Web security is a separate sort of, it's almost a management and administrative construct. Network policies, quality application override, identity services in there. Of course, this can use Cloud Identity Engine natively. And then global settings and so on. So that's really, from my point of view, what SCM is. If you've made it this far, awesome. Of course, as I say, with every video I ever do, it's my take and my way of explaining what something is. It is far from the only way to do something or the only thing. And if, I haven't mentioned something, that's because it doesn't exist. No, it means I haven't mentioned it. It quite possibly does exist. And as always, I'm more than open to different ideas and comments. So there. So that's SCM. What is it? That's my video for that. The next one's going to be security profiles. Where are they? How we build the profiles compared to how we do them on Panorama or on firewalls. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you next time.